What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's edition of the Backgate Podcast. I'm here with my co-host Jake Endicott, and this week we have a special guest star on the Backgate Podcast. She is a 19-year-old rider from Aubrey, Texas, and a fellow Road to the Top rider as well. She has a reining background, which is pretty interesting, pretty fantastic. And she was the 2023 USEF Medal and Maclay winning rider. And now she is on her way to competing in future Nations Cups. We are welcoming Carlee McCutcheon onto the Backgate Podcast. What's up, Carlee?
Not much. Thank you for having me. That was a pretty big introduction.
I think I deserve an introduction of a similar sort. That was the most amazing introduction I think I've ever heard for anybody.
I'm pretty good about the introductions. I don't think you're good. Dude, you need another.
And my co-host. Anyways, this person, the most amazing person of all time.
You're just jealous. He's just jealous. I don't have enough information about him to deliver a true introduction.
There's not much to talk about.
There really isn't. But we have a lot to talk about Carlee in this episode. So I want to dive right into it with a couple questions. You are here with us in the Wellington circuit this year. Talk about what it's been like. You had an awesome week last week, and talk about how it's going to go for you in the future.
Yes, I mean, as you know, being a part of the Road to the Top, it opens a lot of doors and a lot of opportunity for young riders. You're riding with Katie and Henri, and I'm here with Nick and Laura. And I think for me, what this program has showed is how important it is to surround yourself with the right people and how far that can take you. This circuit, I've already had some of the best results that I've ever had. I was 9th last week in the two-star Grand Prix and 2nd this week, and then we were 2nd in the U25 team. So I think it's really proving to be a great program.
Yeah, I think you mentioned surrounding yourself with the right people, and I can speak for both of us for just getting to the opportunity for this program. It speaks to the people we had in our lives previously, and then now the team we have because of Road to the Top. It's pretty phenomenal, and we're already seeing the results, and especially you over this past, the beginning of the circuit here. And then last year you showed all over Europe. Take us through that experience. That's something that a lot of our listeners might not know about. What's that like? What are the differences there that people might not be aware of? And what was that whole experience like?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely different. That's kind of where I started riding with Nick and Laura. So I was starting at a new place, and then also just in a new country that I had never been to. So it took some adjusting for sure. The sport is definitely different over there. I had the opportunity to ride a lot of young horses that in the past I haven't ridden a lot of young horses, and I think learning how to develop one and know what future top horse looks like at a young age is really important to know how to do if you're wanting to be a professional.
How different is it over there? I always wonder because I've been there like horse shopping like one time, but how is it like the show? Like is it that much different?
Yeah, I mean, show jumping is show jumping, but I think that nothing really compares to Wellington. I think that Wellington is its own bubble, really. It's its own thing. There's nothing quite like it. So, but going to Europe for the summer compared to staying here for the summer, I think I showed a lot more than I have in the past. Over there we can put them in the truck and take them 10 minutes down the road and go do day shows. We could go somewhere different every day. We could ride them to a horse show. There's so many horse shows and so many places to be, and it's so easy to get places there. Everything's so close together.
Yeah. Where were you guys? Where did you base out of there?
We were in Kronenberg in the Netherlands. We based out of a farm called Travers, hence Team Travers for the U25 team. Yeah.
I was wondering about that actually.
Yeah, nobody got that.
This is like kind of stupid name.
Yeah, literally. Well, run for the run.
Okay, yeah, make the name. That wasn't me.
No.
It made sense.
Were you guys weren't even the only team that ran off that parody. Wasn't there another team that did that? Was it?
There was one
Yeah.
that's had run something, yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
not even original. I mean,
Oh yeah.
No, we-
well.
Okay, it was North Run and Further. I mean, it's actually made sense, but
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't
I
even
get
think
it. I
about
get
that
it.
side of the things. Yeah.
didn't?
No.
Did you not?
The run part in North Run didn't really resonate with.
No, actually, when I first looked at it, I was also lost, but
I thought it was just Run Forest Run reference.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I don't know. Who knows? You never know.
I think he just figured that out on the spot. With like,
name
North Run, like, yeah.
was a product of John Brennan, and he's pretty creative sometimes. You never know what's coming out of him. Speaking of this U25 team class,
Oh man.
I'm just
No. Okay.
I just have couple comments. So you had a jump off, a great opportunity handed to you by somebody making a horrible mistake at the last jump. But did you jump off? No, who jumped off?
Nina
No.
Malaby.
So you guys jumped off and you ended up second.
Mhm.
What's it like to get the opportunity and then come up just slightly short? Because I know what it's like. I know exactly. It was terrible.
Speaking from
Horrible
experience,
Right.
my goodness.
I just
yeah.
want to know if I'm overreacting or do I have a normal reaction.
Well, it's funny because I talked to a few people that were on different teams, and they're like, "Well, if we would have done this, we would have won." And it's just splitting hairs. Like you know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way. It's a time fault, or it's the last jump, or it's
The last jump.
it's splitting hairs, and it's anybody's game any day. It could have, if you did it over and over and over again, I bet you'd have a different winner a lot.
For
It's
sure.
just, and especially at that level, I mean, there were so many great horses in that class. So I thought it was
that
fun to
class
watch.
was
and-
like actually fun to watch.
It was.
Yeah.
The horses, a lot of good riders, a lot of amazing horses, and it was actually like kind of just a fun class to watch.
I was talking with
Yeah.
someone. They were like, "This is like the horsepower in this class is in some weeks
Maybe the strong.
maybe the strongest of any like if there's a 4-star going on. This might be the stronger group of horses. Like to
Yeah.
be honest,
20 teams, like 80 riders.
Yeah.
I mean, it was actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that speaks to what you were saying before, that there's no place quite like Wellington.
Right.
But the experience of going to Europe and all that, it's the uniqueness behind that. To bring it over to circuit this year now, you were saying how some of those details, from that experience and with the Road to the Top are starting to add up in your results. Can you speak further to that? What are some of those details that you think, over the past year, you maybe in your riding that have really made the difference now?
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that I've learned a lot about, and this is kind of how I grew up with my parents being horse trainers, they have to be very broke. They have to understand what you want them to do. And at the end of the day, the more broke they are, the easier their job is going to be also. And so I think there's so much that goes into the at home that makes them perform in the ring, those little things, the flat work, and getting to watch Nick and Laura do that every day. Just watching, I've learned so much. Riding with them obviously is amazing, but you just can pick up so much from seeing people who are naturally just amazing at what they do.
Yeah, they're a pretty good pair. I mean, I would say
Yeah, they're okay.
they're all right. They
They're
hold
all
their own.
Yeah.
I don't know
For
if there's
sure.
like a stronger team of like
It's definitely
just two
No,
of the
there's not.
best riders.
in terms of
Probably.
riding ability. There's not.
No.
I've said this before. So this is a debate that I've wanted to bring up on our podcast before, and I wanted to introduce it to each of our guests going forward. So because me and Jake have debated this before, and I just want to throw this out there because you're our guest star this week. We've debated, in our opinion, the greatest rider of all time. And of course, there's no right answer, and you can go in different eras and all that stuff. But I just want to throw it out there because I say that Nick, in my opinion, is the best because I think he checks off every box. And so I just wanted to throw it out there. And Jake, feel free to, both of you, feel free to comment on that, or we can just let it slide until the next week and the next week.
I don't know that I
This
want
is
to
a
comment.
this is a dangerous.
Oh, it's extremely dangerous, but
Somebody could lose a job here. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you only bring this up because you have the perfect answer for your situation.
it is the perfect answer. Everyone's happy. I mean, who can debate that? And it's not a bad plug for Road to the Top. So, Nick Skelton, that's my answer.
Well, that's good. I agree.
That's good for you.
Yeah,
That's good for you.
That's
really
good that you
good.
have an answer. I don't think I could answer that. There's so many. There's just so many.
Okay, well, we'll open up to more.
I would say Ludger Beerball.
Yeah, see, he says Luger. No comment from Carl.
I don't have an
Or-
opinion.
Or McLean.
Yeah.
Who I just called him Captain America last week for a
I
reason.
don't know.
McLean, Nick, Laura.
Okay,
I can say those. I'll say those.
those are
Okay.
safe answers. Those are
Yeah.
safe answers.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's a easier answer. Well, not easier, but a more answerable answer, if that's a thing. In the current state of show jumping, what's one rider that you think is super underrated? We've talked about this before. It can be local, international, whoever. Just want to shout someone out specifically.
Underrated. I don't know.
Easy question. What?
It's not an easy question.
Yeah,
I just
that's
said
a
it was easy.
really,
That's
really
so
hard question. That's
You said it was
harder
easy
than the
to
greatest
answer.
of all time.
For sure.
Is that
question.
it's harder than the greatest of all time?
Oh,
Everybody's
for
got an answer for the
sure,
greatest
because-
of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
Well,
except for me. I don't know.
how convenient
Who do
timing
you
not to have an
think?
answer.
You think? Who do you think?
Trent, give
Me?
time to
Well,
think.
I had an answer on one of our previous episodes. I
Did we
thought,
talk about this?
yeah, I threw out Michael van der Vleuten.
Yeah,
I thought
I
he was.
remember.
I think he's so underrated
Yeah, I said the same.
because he's such a championship rider. And I think everyone knows his name, but no one really throws him in that conversation of like they're like, top 5, top 10, and I think his name needs to be in the discussion like so much more.
Yeah, that's
He's
fair.
jumped so many clear rounds. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just never thought of him as underrated because he is
Well, I mean,
very
he's
well known. But I
very
do
well
know what
known.
you
Like,
mean.
I don't, yeah, he's not someone that's like flying under the radar. He's got like
Right, right,
multiple
right.
medals at like Olympics, World Championships. But like, I don't know. I just still think
I don't
his name's brought up enough.
He's not brought up that often.
That was my point. Yeah,
No, that's fair. That's a good answer.
and yeah, I'm the only one having answers on
I
this
know.
today, and it is
Oh.
it's
Yeah.
true. We're gonna let you think about that, and by the end of the episode, I'm gonna circle back and an answer
Okay.
to one of those two questions is what I'll accept.
Well, we know which one she's
Oh.
not answering.
Yeah. Okay, I'll
All right,
think of one.
underrated. Looking forward. Just for fun, what are some things that you've taken from Nick and Laura specifically? Like, I would say, so you mentioned the preparation being so important and time spent at home. But like, what are some things that you've picked up even like warming up for a big class? Like some of the things that maybe add up to that sort of championship pedigree that people wouldn't think about.
Well, one person that I definitely want to mention is Mary Elizabeth, because the behind the scenes is the most important part. It just is. She is, as far as care for the horse, it's amazing. I mean, she has done this for such a long time, and I really don't think any of it would be possible without her. She has taught me so much, and she's been at the ring with me, helping me get to the ring, but also back at the barn. She just is amazing when it comes to the care for the horse. And at the end of the day, that's huge. Like, they're the athletes just as much as we are, and more, of course. And they have to be feeling good. They have to wake up on the right side of the bed. They have to, all these little details, you have to notice every little part of the horse, and you have to know everything about them inside and out. And Mary Elizabeth does. She knows everything about every single one of our horses, and knowing that your horses feel good, and that's how you know they're going to perform good.
That's a fantastic answer because, and I'll add to that, my experience, I'm having the same thing with Katie's team over at Plain Bay. that's been one of my biggest takeaways from this whole program as well. I think that's what separates good from great and from and that legendary status, because you see the horse first in every single aspect of how the business is run. But yeah, the horse care, it's second to none, and having people like that in your corner, it makes up that team, because the fans can attest in any sport. We get to see the at the ring moments and the big moments and jumping clears for all these big events. But that's not where those results come from. And as we're seeing, I think, from this whole process, how each day matters in terms of care for the horse. So
I think the barn managers in general just don't get maybe enough recognition.
not at all.
Not on purpose. It's just, I don't know.
Right.
It's just not. They just don't. But I don't think there's a single top barn or a top rider that doesn't have an amazing barn manager.
Yeah, you do.
If you can't focus on yourself and your riding,
Right.
then you won't be able to ride well, and you can't focus on yourself and your riding without that person that's there with you all the time,
Right.
Yeah.
everything, and can help you with anything.
And
Yeah.
I got to say too, like to know your horse inside and out, but then have in regards to that, to be able to focus as an athlete, and then have the communication, which happens to be a big topic, because I think you can bring in talent on any level as a rider, and as a barn manager, as a groom. But if you don't have the communication between those type of people and those relationships, then it still makes it hard, because you can have people that care and have that talent, but you got to work as a team at the end of the day, and you have to have all those pieces together, and they all have to have chemistry and match up. And so I think that's just like any sport, to have that team chemistry, I think, is huge. And the most successful pairs are the ones that have stood the test of time in terms of results and in terms of their personal relationships with each other. So I think that's what stands out with those type of organizations, how they're run.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, moving on. Jake has a little segment that he wants to play with you, Carlee. Yeah,
Right before that,
Wait.
I just thought of something.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No, it's
we're going off script.
something that always off script. Something that I always think is interesting when people do this, if they're getting asked questions, is what is your I don't know, what is your I don't want to say life story. That sounds super intense, but how did you get to where you are today? What were the steps that you took going through your career?
Well, that's a loaded question.
No, don't take time.
No, but I mean, I don't want to preview your answer, but you've got a super interesting story with your family and everything. I mean, this is it's very unique, and so yeah, our listeners definitely want to hear about it.
Well, I would say that I am extremely fortunate to have been raised by professional horsemen. I'm lucky that I love it, but I didn't really, it's just, we were born into it. We were at the barn every single day. My brother used to go ride in the morning at 4:00 in the morning before he'd go to school, so that he'd have time to ride all of his horses. And that's just kind of the way that my whole family is. We have a love for the sport, but above all, we have just the love for the horse. And it's my grandparents, my grandfather, he did reining horses, and my grandmother had her show jumping business. And so I grew up doing both the reiners and the hunters and jumpers. And then sort of my last few junior years, I stepped back from the reining to really focus on the jumpers. I was always just drawn more towards this. And my brother's way better at the reining than me anyway. So it just made more sense. But I don't know. I guess it's just something I've never really thought about, because it's all I've ever known.
First of all, that's a great answer. And then I have another thing to add to that. What is your take? So coming from that background of your parents being in the industry, as horse trainers, and having your brother as an example, what are your thoughts of Jake at the beginning of his career, having a similar set of having an older brother in the industry and parents, and refusing to take part in show jumping for the majority of the beginning of his life, and then going back to it?
Are you asking me a question?
No, I'm asking her. What are her thoughts on that?
I mean,
And then you can respond. I mean, you can defend your case, have a different sort of direction where you came back to it because you wanted to kind of step away from the family business. Any thoughts?
So now you want.
Now I want your
I'll
thoughts.
answer first. I got to think about this. I can't.
Well, I don't want to speak for you, but I know that with my family, it always was a choice, and that's actually something that is nice to hear, that you felt comfortable to say, hey, I'm going to step back from this and see what I really want to do. And that's actually it can be tricky with family for sure, but that's also where it's nice is with my family anyways. My brother and I were never forced to ride. We wanted
awesome.
to, and it just, yeah.
I mean, I was obviously never forced to ride at all. And I actually, when I was like 6 years old, one of my brother's like old ponies that was like kind of retiring, they put me on it in the backyard, and I was like riding around, and it was pretty fun. And then the next day they put it on the lunge line, and I was gonna like canter for the first time, and it cantered, bolted, my girth was not tight, so the saddle went just straight under the pony. I fell off, and that was the last day I rode for the next
So
8 or 9 years.
what I'm hearing is instead of deviating from the family business, you're just straight up trauma is what drove you away.
I can't remember if it was actually that traumatic, or I was like, this isn't actually that fun. This sounds like a great excuse to get out of this. So it was either trauma, or I actually just didn't really want to do it. But
well, I had a very similar experience actually. When I was 6, my mom was leading me around on my pony, terrified to even trot. And she walked away for a minute, and my dad took the lead rope off and made it canter. And I fell off, like, immediately. Don't tell your mother. What do we have to do to not tell your mother?
Bribery.
I didn't ride for a while.
Bribery.
Yeah, I didn't ride for a while after that either.
Yeah, I think it's really important to get a choice, because
Yeah.
I don't know, if they would have forced me to keep riding, I probably would have gotten burnt out. I mean, maybe not, but there's a stronger chance of you getting burnt out, not enjoying it, and then you end up not pursuing it. So then it's just wasted.
Well, I think I mean, just from what I've heard, it's not to hear both of your stories is awesome, because I feel like there is sometimes a belief for these people that are set up in this, and sadly that's sometimes the case, where that they aren't given a choice. And so I feel like you go through sort of this whole process, and this is a sport that you have to be 100. If you do this as a professional level, you have to be 100% in on. And so I think that's a difficult thing to have to live with. But if you are set up in a way where your family is already in it, but they are awesome enough to give you that choice, I think that creates for such as you guys are. I mean, such amazing talents, right? I threw up in a compliment. Did you see that?
So nice.
There's a witness.
You got so excited.
That's the first on the back gate.
No, first compliment ever on the back gate.
I think dished out about either of us. I don't think you've given me a compliment.
No.
I mean,
Absolutely not.
I've known you for years, and I was like, I can't think of the one off the top of my head.
What?
I actually remember one compliment you gave me. There was one Grand Prix where I went clear, and I came over, and I was like, and I didn't say anything to you. I was just passing, and you were like, "Not bad," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That went well," and you were like, "Well, you went clear, and I didn't." So, and you like walked away, and I was like, "Is that a compliment?"
Compliment. That's like the best compliment. Admitting defeat
Not
and
bad.
giving a compliment. I mean,
Admitting defeat. That's pretty good.
come on.
I would have to remember that. Yeah, that was a good one. I'll remember that one. Yeah.
You know, just now that we're on the
Okay.
defeat.
Oh,
topic here.
shoot. Yeah.
Last week on the podcast, we made a bet on
Yeah, we did.
whose U25 team was gonna beat.
It wasn't particularly close either.
Not close. Actually, a total blowout.
Oh boy.
I haven't paid yet.
Was it?
I wish
50?
I would have been a part of this bet.
We've made plenty. Last episode we made like 4 wagers or something like that.
There's a lot of money involved.
We were thinking that one of us is gonna end up broke, and I think it's off to a bad start.
Yeah,
for me.
feeling
I think
really
this
good,
one was 50. We wagered 250 on like F1, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
We do one on the Super Bowl. Yeah.
No, but we should have talked. We have to talk about the NBA at some point. My goodness, what a trade!
I'm gonna cry. I did cry.
From Texas.
Yes. Oh,
No,
yes.
actually, this
perfect.
is funny. This isn't for Christmas. I got a signed Luka jersey. My brother and I go to games all the time. I just ordered.
Oh my!
Oh shoot!
Winner!
Like,
Anthony Davis's face
when
on
I
there.
tell you literal tears, my brother and I are devastated.
The odds that you had that right there, like
Yeah.
ready
Yeah.
for this. Completely forgot to mention it.
too.
Off script and everything. Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan. So
Yeah, me too. I'm thrilled.
Okay, well, I'm very emotional. It's a
Love
tragic
Anthony
day for
Davis.
Dallas.
I mean, yeah, I love AD, but have fun in Dallas.
Prime
we'll
Luka.
enjoy our overweight white boy.
Yeah. What was his listed weight that they were saying? 260 or
270.
something?
No, but apparently
I think
he's
like 270.
averaging a triple-double, 28 points, and he's fat. Oh, I guess he has to hit the gym. I don't know. Trade him. Idiots.
Don't underestimate the white, though. The fat white.
Fat white boy.
Can this go in?
I don't know. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
For sure.
We're talking
Alright.
about a guy who's going to get like $300 million in a year or something like that. I think he'll be fine. He'll sleep well at
He'll
night.
be okay. Yeah.
He'll be okay.
Did just buy a house in Dallas.
I know.
Yeah.
Last week.
15
I saw
million.
15 minutes.
Ooh. I mean, that's a little bit of a hit. I know that's true.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Watch it. With his luck, he's just gonna like make money on it or something stupid like that. Yeah.
Because it's his house. It's a famous person's house. Somebody will buy it for more.
Oh boy, that was so funny that I mentioned that. I'm so glad I did now. I'm sorry, but I'm so glad I did.
I thought it was fake news. Honestly, I had to call
Yeah,
my
I
brother.
did too.
I woke up at 4 a.m. to it, and
I woke up to the notification at like 2:15 in the morning.
Really?
And I was like, why did I just...
So I opened my Instagram.
I thought it was April Fool's, and it was January.
It's
like-
it was January.
January.
I opened my Instagram, and I thought it was an edit, and then I saw that my brother had messaged me, and I was like, oh no, it's real. I was like, my brother only messages me about like real sports, and I was like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. That was crazy. All right.
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. Do you have a Super Bowl pick?
Team.
Well, Dallas isn't exactly
Mm.
Ever
Terrible. Embarrassing.
in the loop of that, so I don't really watch much football if I'm being honest.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay, fine.
The sports just became a sad subject.
Dallas, Texas sports are really
You
not
really
looking
just
too
took me
good
down
right
a
now.
dark path.
Yeah.
All right, but if the Super Bowl is coming up, I mean, do you have a pick? There's only one right answer.
Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. Oh, I knew it.
Oh,
You could just
Taylor's
tell.
team, of course.
just-
oh,
That hurts.
that really hurts.
Yeah.
We're like very strictly like not like
Huge Chiefs hater.
there you
Why?
Yeah, if you hate you always hate the best team, and if they're in your division, you hate them even more.
go. Yeah,
Okay.
we like teams in their division. Yeah, it's been bad luck for both of our franchises, to be honest.
Well,
But
What next? Oh, my segment.
yeah. We've been skipping around it, but Jake's segment's finally up.
Trying not to do it.
Jake, I decided early on that Jake needed his own segment, and so we're introducing with Carlee This or That with
Oh,
Jake
boy.
Endicott.
I don't think it'll be continuing after this episode. I'll probably have to find something else, but
Carlee, are you ready for some This or That with Jake?
I didn't
I
put that
guess
much thought
so.
into it, so don't get excited.
Okay.
Okay, first question. Road trip or plane ride?
Road trip.
Wow.
She's on the road to the top.
That's such a Texas answer. I don't know why.
Very Texas.
It's like a southern answer, I feel like.
She's walking time in between these questions.
I know. Oh, here we go. Dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs.
That.
I was worried about that one actually.
No.
When I saw that, no, I was worried
You
because
told
you
me.
said cats. I was gonna go on for 10 minutes about how you're an idiot.
Yeah. No. 100%.
No,
We're on the
there's
same
no
page.
no offense to cat people, but
Yeah.
You know who you
you're
are.
wrong. You're just not even close to
You're
being correct.
wrong.
You're wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. I have two more.
It's just a mistake.
I have two more. This is not a mistake. It's not a mistake. We have cooking at home or eating out.
That's a good one.
Oh, I like to stay home.
But are you cooking at home or are you just
See,
staying?
Other
But
people cook. You know?
I like
seem
to
like a
be
cook.
cooked for at
Yeah.
home.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Is there a steady chef you have at home or It varies.
I don't like how that was.
Wait,
so-
we can just go to the next this or
Okay,
that.
next question.
It varies.
Next question. Early.
This can't be.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, early bird, of course. The
Oh,
road to the top
really?
mentality is
You know what's so
early
funny
bird.
is I'm by nature a night owl, which is a terrible thing for the sport. Like terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work.
It doesn't
And
work.
everyone's told me, they're like, oh, after so many years or so many, long nights, you're gonna get used to it, And not that I'm like have long nights or anything. I don't. Do you know me?
I'm gonna get a similar question here.
No.
What are you doing on these long?
No, I think I just get like a jolt of energy at like 9:30, and I'm like, that's not how they.
What's Sunday evening look like?
Sunday evening,
You have no work on Monday.
like
Well, I
watching
mean,
TV,
light work on Monday.
watching TV, basically.
Really?
Yeah, or just like talking with like the bar
Trent
people.
and I had this exact conversation like a few days ago.
Really? Well, what's your Sunday evening look like?
I go to bed by 8 o'clock.
Really?
That's,
8 o'clock?
Oh,
So, I mean, I love being in bed early, but I can never actually fall asleep.
I have the most energy from like 5 a.m. to
oh.
like 11. And
Oh.
then after that, it just goes downhill.
Well, that's what my point was. I thought I'd grow out of it by now because I've like been enough years, you know what I mean? But no, I mean, like obviously I'm there and ready to go. But but given the choice, I mean, 10 a.m. is like when I just start to like hit my the day is like here.
Yeah.
If I was given the choice.
If I know I have to be up early in the morning, I can never go to sleep.
That's so fair.
The anxiety of it, like.
Like
Oh, man.
being terrified to miss your alarm. That's me because I will
There's
miss an
nothing
alarm.
worse, yeah.
That feeling.
I have an alarm set every 5 minutes for 30 minutes straight.
Holy moly!
I'm terrified.
No, I
it's
have
my
I have at
biggest
least
fear.
10 set.
Really? I
Mhm.
thought I have like 4, but apparently I'm like mild. I mean, you guys take
No,
the
you
cake.
have
Wow.
to
Yeah.
set them
They
all.
also start like 20 minutes before I actually need to wake up, and I just like
Oh, for sure. Well, for sure that I give myself like a good hour before I need to be like out the door, somewhat awake. So I'll like hear it from there. But you got 15 different alarms. I mean, yeah, goodness.
uh-huh.
Jeez.
Okay, but if you're doing a 4:45 a.m. wake up, I'm gonna sleep straight through it if I have just
Yeah.
one.
No. I
Yeah.
understand the multiple. It's just the sheer like.
I know.
It's
We're
the-
just
and it
so
gets kind of
dedicated to our
annoying.
work.
Yeah,
Trent. What can I
no,
say?
Meg. How is this becoming a roast of me? Just because I haven't set out 20 alarms.
I don't know. Would Katie and Henri approve of her lack of
You're not as
dedication here?
dedicated.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
I don't know.
Oh no, I will say the coolest thing about Katie is like every day at the same time, like she brings the same energy every day, and that's a tough thing to do because like it's like so impressive. Like she comes out, it doesn't matter what happened the day before, I don't know, or what or like what's coming up. Like it's always like the same like upbeat, like ready to go energy. I think that's pretty impressive. That's so funny. You know who's calling me right now?
Oh, God.
Trying to call me Moromi.
You should answer, actually.
We'll have her on a guest again next time.
Yeah, maybe. Did you run in college?
I didn't go to college.
Get that out, Jake.
Yeah.
Are you homework?
Sorry.
I'm
She's
also
ni-
19.
Damn, so she's 19.
You're only 19, eh?
I said that in my introduction.
I don't know.
Don't worry, we'll edit this out.
Are you not a year older?
I am. No, I know, but I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't know.
You're only 19?
19 and
20.
20 seems so far apart just because there's a 2 in front of it. I don't know why.
That is how numbers work. Yeah, eventually you get to that point where it just
Feel like getting old.
no, I feel super old now with this squad.
25?
22.
Shoot.
Nobody's
Oh, anyway.
You gonna catch some old? Like what? Yeah, I'm taking like my joints are achy now. Like I'll wake up and I'm like, like my back.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
riding.
It is a rider thing. Yeah.
That doesn't happen to me.
I'm perfect.
She was saying before how amazing of a sleeper she is. Like she's excellent. Like she gets like plenty of rest and like can fall asleep instantly.
10 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
It's true. I could fall asleep right now and sleep for 15 hours.
I do wish I could do that, actually.
Yeah,
It's like a superpower.
Yeah.
it is.
I don't understand. What would my superpower be?
I don't know.
My ability to make every situation as awkward as possible.
Yeah. That does happen.
Well, sometimes I'll go up and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, and like
Sometimes you come up with so much energy and then it's gone and then nobody knows what to do.
yeah, I bring too much energy.
Bring tons of energy.
I bring a lot to the table. No one can match it. That is a superpower. No one can match my energy.
Yeah. Right.
All right. I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Oh no, it needed to be cleared up, actually.
All right. We're gonna finish up with a little road to the top plug.
Perfect.
So I just want to share really quickly. You're just gonna leave?
Oh, did you want me to be in?
No, you're still in here. Yeah, leaving.
Okay.
You can be here for it. You can comment on it, whatever you want.
Right. So,
I just want a moment for us to speak on our experiences. So I tell people when they ask me about the road to the top, I say before this all started, me and my dad would always talk about sort of my experience in the sport so far, and we would always say like, you know, what if there was something like this? And that's exactly what it is. I think it's everything that I think people in our sort of situation dream of, having that opportunity. And the fact that Laura and Katie took the initiative to create this is pretty remarkable. And I don't know if I want to speak for you, but my hope is obviously that the foundation continues to grow. Obviously in our experience with it for the foreseeable future, but then for others as well. And then that other trainers take that same initiative that Laura and Katie did and start a chain reaction for the future of our sport and the future of the sport in this country. So I just want to ask you, going to the future, finding out that you've been a part of this, just talk us through Road to the Top. You know, what's your take on all of it?
Well, that was really well said. I wouldn't really add much to that.
yeah, well, how rude is it to say everything there is to say and then try and give somebody else some time to say something?
That's just my take, but what's yours? Well, I have the exact same take. I think it's pretty cool that we're the first riders to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that we're just learning, sort of together how it's gonna go and how the program works, because it's never been done before. But yeah, it opens up a lot of really cool opportunities for us and for the future of show jumping for the U.S.
Woo, woo, go U.S.
Go USA.
US. Or as Trent would say, America.
If you guys, if our fans have not seen that video, by the way, so for
Trent's from LA, by the way, so
for our listeners, this past week, me and Carlee, as part of Road to the Top, took part. Well, she took more part. I was kind of just like the hype man in the Great Charity Challenge presented during the WEF circuit. It was an awesome experience. But yeah, we were representing USA in regards to music, I guess. I don't know. We were just very patriotic that night.
We were.
Carlee wrote it in it. She was the anchor rider. She did a fantastic job. And my outfit and my twirl, I don't know. I kind of just freestyled when I got to the center of the ring, but
a twirl.
I've been sent that video one too many times.
Ballerina Trent.
Yeah, I think I had like 30 missed text messages that night. Just people's take on it. Screenshots of like, I was like, you didn't even know I was gonna be like doing this, and they're like, nope, but we found it. So
that's funny.
So, anyways, that was a fun experience. And yeah, just showing our U.S. pride, right?
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, and I did get comments about the outfit. Like, oh, he's so California. So, but no, I'll deal with that later. Anyways, This was super fun. Thank you so much for being on the podcast and being a guest star. You were awesome. Glad we got to talk about some interesting topics, and we'll have to do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. Well, that's another episode of Backgate. We're having more guest star episodes in the near future. Check us out weekly. Yeah, next week.
Every week.
We have 2 guest stars actually next week coming up. Should be exciting, and you'll find out who those are soon. So thank you again. Thank you, Carlee McCutcheon, for being such a great guest. And as always, thank you to our fans for checking out the Backgate podcast. Thank you to my co-host, Jake Endicott, and our producer, Mia Jones. Thank you, everyone. Peace out. Love ya.